The Toyota Prius Plug-in Hybrid is a mid-size plug-in hybrid manufactured by Toyota. The Prius PHV is based on a third-generation Toyota Prius outfitted with 4.4 kWh lithium-ion batteries co-developed with Panasonic, which enable all-electric operation at higher speeds and longer distances than the conventional Prius hybrid. The production version was unveiled at the September 2011 International Motor Show Germany. Production of the first-generation Prius plug-in ended in June 2015. Toyota is expected to begin production of the second-generation plug-in Prius by October 2016. The Prius plug-in total all-electric range in blended mode is 11 miles as rated by the United States Environmental Protection Agency, has an expected total range of 540 miles, and a maximum electric-only speed of 62 miles per hour. According to Toyota, the Prius plug-in is expected to be rated in Europe at 112 mpg-US equivalent, with CO2 emissions of 49 grams per kilometer. The EPA fuel economy rating is 95 miles per gallon gasoline equivalent in charge-depleting mode and a combined city highway rating of 50 mpg-US in hybrid mode, the same as the conventional Prius liftback. A global demonstration program involving 600 pre-production test cars began in late 2009 and took place in Japan, Europe, Canada, China, Australia, New Zealand and the United States. Deliveries of the production model began in Japan in January 2012, and in late February in the United States, where initially the car is available only in 14 states. Deliveries in Europe began in late June 2012. As of November 2015, about 75,000 Prius PHVs have been sold worldwide since 2012, with the United States as the market leader with over 42,200 units delivered. The Prius plug-in hybrid ranked as the second most sold plug-in electric car during 2012, and, as of November 2015, ranks as the world's third top-selling plug-in hybrid, and fifth all-time best-selling plug-in electric car. History Concept car The Prius plug-in concept was exhibited at the September 2009 Frankfurt Motor Show, the October 2009 Tokyo Motor Show, and the December 2009 LA Auto Show. After displaying the concept version in these three shows, on December 2009 Toyota officially announced the introduction of the production model in Japan during the following 6 months. Demonstration program Toyota's plug-in hybrid electric vehicle project began in 2007, with road trials of a prototype vehicle in France and the UK in 2008. Toyota made available a total of 600 Prius plug-in demonstration vehicles for lease to fleet and government customers. 230 were delivered in Japan beginning in late December 2009, 125 models released in the US by early 2010, and 200 units in Europe in 2010. All program vehicles were sent to limited geographical areas and equipped with special data tracking devices designed to allow Toyota to monitor the car's usage for further development of the plug-in hybrid system. Programs by country: Australia. The demonstration program in Australia included 5 Prius plug-ins allocated to government agencies. Canada. In March 2010 Toyota launched its demonstration program in Canada with 5 Prius plug-ins in partnership with academic institutions, hydroelectric producers, and governmental agencies in each of the 4 provinces participating in the program: British Columbia, Manitoba, Ontario and Quebec. Canada is home to Toyota's Global Cold Weather Research Centre in Northern Ontario, and the country's cold weather will serve to evaluate its adverse effect on battery performance and range. In July 2010 the first demonstration Prius PHV was delivered in Manitoba. The unit will be shared and tested by 4 partners: Manitoba Hydro, Manitoba Innovation, Energy and Mines, and the University of Manitoba. There are 15 trial partners in the 4 provinces that are part of the first phase of the Canadian demonstration trial. China. On October 28, 2010, Toyota signed an agreement with China Automotive Technology and Research Center on jointly carrying out field trials of the Prius PHV in China. Europe. Toyota leased 200 units in Europe to selected partners and customers in 18 European countries. A total of 150 demonstrator plug-in went to France, the United Kingdom and Germany. The largest fleet was deployed in Strasbourg, France, with 70 units. France. The demonstration program in Strasbourg was launched in April 2010. The three-year program involves 70 Prius plug-ins and the deployment of dedicated charging infrastructure. The program will set up more than 150 charging points at private parking lots of firms participating in the program, user homes, public parking lots and on public roads. The program is run by a Permis Electricité Copyright de France in partnership with Toyota and the city and the urban community of Strasbourg, and is financially supported through a research fund managed by the French Environment and Energy Management Agency. The city and the urban community of Strasbourg will lease 5 Prius plug-ins and also provide a subsidy to the local car-sharing company to lease 3 Prius PHVs. The remaining vehicles will be leased to other public institutions and private companies. Germany. The demonstration program in Germany was conducted in Baden-Württemberg with 10 Prius plug-ins and the corresponding dedicated charging infrastructure. The program was run by German energy provider NBW. United Kingdom. The demonstration trial in the UK began in late June 2010 with a fleet of 20 Prius plug-in hybrids. Toyota Motor Company partnered with a Permis Electricité Copyright de France to carry out a 3-year trial, and as part of the program a number of charging bays will be deployed in London. The trial Prius plug-in hybrids will be available through leasing to public sector organizations and business users. Among the organizations that received the first Prius plug-ins are Transport for London, the Government Car and Dispatch Agency, the Metropolitan Police Service, News International and Sky. Japan. In Japan, TMC leased approximately 230 units to government ministries, local government selected for the Japanese Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industries EV and PHV Towns program, corporations such as electric power companies, and other entities. As part of the demonstration program and beginning in July 2010, 2 Prius PHV were made available for short-term rental in the city of Gota, Nagasaki. The rental fees are A8,400 yen for up to 6 hours, A9,450 yen for up to 12 hours, A11,550 yen for up to 24 hours, and A9,450 yen for each additional day. United States. A total of 125 demonstrator plug-ins were deployed in the U.S. since 2010. In October 2009, Toyota announced its first regional program partnership in the U.S. with XCEL and EGIA Euro unregistered trademark S Smart Grid City program in Boulder, Colorado. The research project was coordinated by the University of Colorado at Boulder Renewable and Sustainable Energy Institute. Boulder offered the opportunity of monitoring the performance of Toyota Euro unregistered trademark S first-generation lithium-ion battery at high altitude and under cold climate. Other partnerships were made with Qualcomm, Silicon Valley Leadership Group, Southern California Air Quality Management District, the University of California at Berkeley and Portland State University. Other regional programs considered were Northern and Southern California, Washington, D.C., New York City, Portland and Pittsburgh, which offered different conditions for vehicle performance and customer needs. In June 2010 the first demonstration Prius PHVs were delivered to Portland State University and the Silicon Valley Leadership Group. An additional 30 demonstration program vehicles were assigned to Silicon Valley groups and companies, including the University of California, Berkeley in the following weeks. Also in June 2010 the first 3 Prius PHVs were delivered in Southern California to San Diego Gas and Electric and the non-profit California Center for Sustainable Energy. In August 2010 2 Prius plug-in hybrids were delivered to be tested in San Francisco's municipal fleet as part of the demonstration program. Georgetown University was the first partner in Washington, D.C. to participate in the program under the sponsorship of the U.S. Department of Energy's Clean Cities program. 2 Prius plug-ins were loaned in December 2010 and 16 Georgetown employees are testing the vehicles in 3-month rotations. 5 Prius PHVs were delivered in New York City, 2 units to be tested by New York City Department of Transportation and 3 by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. As part of the demonstration program, Toyota delivered 8 Prius plug-in hybrids to Zipcar in January 2011. The car-sharing firm selected 3 markets to make the plug-in hybrids available to its members, 3 cars in Boston and Cambridge, Massachusetts, 3 in San Francisco, California, and 2 in Portland, Oregon. Similar to all hybrids and Sakara Euro unregistered trademark S-Fleet, the Prius plug-in can only be reserved by the hour at an hourly rate of $7. Field test results. Europe. Toyota reported the following findings for the European demonstration fleet after nearly a year into the project, representing the driving experience acquired by the participants after 497,100 miles driven, 2/3 of commute trips traveled a distance of less than 12.5 miles, the expected all-electric range in EV mode. More than a third of the participants made long-distance trips of more than 62 miles at least once a week. Fuel consumption data shows that the Prius PHV consumed 36% less fuel than the comparable, best-in-class diesel vehicle, and almost 50% less than the best-in-class petrol vehicle. The maximum average fuel consumption figure observed was more than 141 mpg-imp. United Kingdom. Based on the results from less than 1 year of real-world use for the 20 Prius plug-in demonstrators leased to EDF Energy, Toyota reported the following findings. Driving in electric-only mode has accounted for 1/3 of the distance driven in the demonstration. The average trip distance has been 7.3 miles, with 59% of all journeys covering between 3.1 to 12.4 miles. 22% of drivers have even been able to drive further than the official 12.5 miles range in EV mode. Fuel consumption data indicates performance is 27% better than an equivalent diesel-powered vehicle. United States. Consumer Reports field tested the Prius PHV for 2 weeks and reported an all-electric range between 14 to 17 miles spent up front at the beginning of each trip. On a 78-mile commute trip, the Prius plug-in averaged 63.5 miles per US gallon, while on commute trips between 20 to 30 miles the PHV averaged 81 miles per US gallon to 86 miles per US gallon, with an EV ratio varying from 40 to 56% during those trips. The California Center for Sustainable Energy tested 2 Prius plug-in with 13 different drivers during 7 weeks and reported an average combined fuel economy of 83 miles per US gallon on an average round-trip commute of 22 miles. The best average attained was 97.9 miles per US gallon on an average round-trip commute of 48 miles. Motor Trend field tested the Prius PHV for 32 days and reported average CO2 emissions of 80 grams per kilometer, an average all-electric range of 11.7 miles, and an average combined fuel economy of 70.4 miles per US gallon over the 1,880 miles accumulated during their trial. Based on the testing with 160 consumers across the United States, Toyota reported that users are charging the Prius plug-in more frequently than the carmaker anticipated, with about 10 charges per week, but the electricity cost was lower than they thought, at about $150 for the entire 6-week trial. Specifications. Demonstration vehicle equals. The pre-production test cars are based on a third-generation Toyota Prius outfitted with 5.2 kWh lithium-ion batteries. The selected battery capacity is the minimum required for the Prius plug-in to be eligible for the U.S. federal tax credit of $2,500, which is applicable to the first 200,000 plug-ins sold by Toyota according to the American Clean Energy and Security Act of 2009. The Prius plug-in uses 3 different batteries, 2 to provide all-electric drive and a third battery engages when the first 2 are depleted, allowing the car to operate in hybrid mode, like a regular 50 mpg Prius. According to Toyota, when the vehicle starts, the plug-in operates in all-electric mode, drawing electrical power directly from the first battery pack. When its charge is depleted, it disconnects from the circuit and the second pack engages and supplies electrical energy to the motor. When the second pack is depleted again, it disconnects from the circuit and the system defaults to conventional hybrid mode, using the main battery as the sole electrical power source. Pack 1 and Pack 2 will not re-engage in tandem with the main battery pack until the vehicle is plugged in and charged. According to Toyota, the Prius plug-in demonstrator is rated at 134 mpg-US on the Japanese JC08 cycle with a combined efficiency based on 43.6% of driving in EV mode, and CO2 emissions of 41 grams per kilometer. Fuel efficiency operating as a gasoline-electric hybrid, like the regular Prius, is 72 mpg-US with CO2 emissions of 76 grams per kilometer. Production version Drivetrain. The production Prius plug-in has a number of key changes from the demonstration units that were deployed in the field for testing based on that experience and customer feedback. The production version has two key modifications from the demonstration vehicle to improve efficiency. First, Toyota decided to include a selectable electric driving mode, allowing drivers to conserve energy for use in those places where EV mode is more efficient, such as city driving. The production Prius PHV also has the ability to direct the regenerative braking energy to the electric vehicle battery, rather than the regular hybrid system battery, thus providing additional range in EV mode. The Prius plug-in hybrid uses the hybrid synergy drive of the standard Prius model, with enhanced capabilities that incorporates a 4.4 kWh lithium-ion battery that significantly expands the all-electric range as compared to the regular Prius, and fully rechargeable from a domestic source. The hybrid system includes a 1.8-litre DOHC 16-valve VVTi gasoline engine that develops 98 horsepower at 5,200 rpms, and 105 pounds-ft at 4,000 rpms, a third-generation hybrid transaxle, a power control unit, and an onboard charging system. The system uses two high-output electric motors, one 60 kW unit that mainly works to power the compact, lightweight transaxle, and another smaller motor rated at 42 kW that works as the electric power source for battery regeneration and as a starter for the gasoline engine. Maximum motor drive voltage is 650 volts DC. After the electric driving range is exhausted, the plug-in switches into hybrid operation at a predetermined state of battery charge and operates as a conventional full hybrid with a similar efficiency of a standard Prius. Net hybrid system outputs is 134 bhp, allowing the Prius plug-in to accelerate from 0 to 62 mph in 10.7 seconds and reach a top speed of 112 mph. The maximum speed in EV mode is 62 mph. With a weight of approximately 1,420 kg, the plug-in version is only 50 kg heavier than the regular Prius. The Prius plug-in has 3 drive modes, all electric, and 2 hybrid modes, Eco and Power. The EV mode is user selectable, and when running in this mode the hybrid engine control unit operates the vehicle using only the larger motor generator if predetermined parameters are satisfied, such as sufficient battery state of charge and vehicle speed within EV mode range. The Eco mode is designed to maximize fuel savings for any driving conditions, and modifies or smooths out the electronic throttle control program to reduce throttle response, reducing the throttle opening to a maximum of 11.6%, and also modifies the operation of the air conditioning system. As an additional benefit, the Eco mode improves performance in low traction conditions because the reduced output helps to minimize wheel skidding such as those caused by ice and snow. Power mode increases throttle response in the middle range more than normal. Battery and range. The production version was unveiled at the September 2011 Frankfurt Motor Show with a lithium-ion battery pack that stores 4.4 kWh. Toyota estimates that the all-electric range varies between 10 to 15 miles on a full charge depending on quick acceleration and braking, road and vehicle conditions, or climate control use. The lithium-ion battery pack can be charged in 180 minutes at 120 volts or in 90 minutes at 240 volts. Under the JC08 Japanese test cycle, the Prius PHV range is 26.4 kilometers, 3 kilometers more than the 23.4 kilometers achieved by the demonstrator. The United States Environmental Protection Agency issued 2 EV range ratings to the Prius plug-in. a driving range for blended operation electric gasoline of 11 miles until the battery is depleted. The second rating is for all-electric operation with a range of 6 miles. EPA estimated a total range of 540 miles until both sources of power are depleted. The regular gasoline-only Prius has a total range of 536 miles. The 4.4 kWh lithium-ion battery developed for the Prius plug-in fits under the rear cargo floor and weighs 80 kilograms. As a comparison, the nickel-metal hydride battery of the third-generation Prius, which has a capacity of only 1.3 kWh, weighs 42 kilograms. A full charge using an external AC outlet takes approximately 2.5 to 3.0 hours from a standard North American 120V15A household outlet, or 1.5 hours using a standard European 230V household outlet. The battery requires approximately 3.2 kWh of electricity plus 0.3 US gal of gasoline to provide 40 km of range. A fully charged battery state of charge reads 85% and the all-electric mode disengages at 23%, and the usable energy after charging loss is 2.73 kWh. The included charging cable connects to the charging port inlet located on the right rear fender. The charge port location was moved from the front driver's side fender in the demonstration model based on input from the program participants. The battery charger cable weighs just 3.75 pounds, is 24 feet in length, and fits in its own compartment in the trunk area. The charge port provides LED illumination for convenient nighttime charging. A timer allows charging to take place during off-peak hours and can be set for either a start or end time. Fuel economy, according to Toyota the Prius plug-in was expected to be rated at 112 mpg-US and CO2 emissions of 49 grams per kilometer under the new European driving cycle. EPA's official fuel economy rating is 95 miles per gallon gasoline equivalent in all-electric mode and a combined city highway rating of 50 mpg-US in hybrid mode, the same as the third-generation Prius liftback. The EPA's overall combined city highway EV mode hybrid fuel economy rating is 58 mpg-US equivalent, with 59 mpg-US equivalent in the city and 56 mpg-US equivalent on the highway. The Prius PHV overall EV mode hybrid fuel economy is higher than the Honda Accord plug-in hybrid and both Ford Energy models, but lower than the BMW i3 Rex, Chevrolet Volt and the Cadillac ELR. Based on the JC08 Japanese test cycle, the Prius PHV fuel efficiency is 61.0 km per liter, calculated from combined all-electric and hybrid driving modes, with only 38 grams per kilometer of CO2 emissions. The electric power consumption rate is 8.74 km per kilowatt-hour. After the battery has been depleted, the HV mode fuel efficiency is 31.6 km per liter. The EPA's 2014 edition of the Light-Duty Automotive Technology, Carbon Dioxide Emissions, and Fuel Economy Trends introduced utility factors for plug-in hybrids to represent the percentage of miles that will be driven using electricity by an average driver, in electric-only or blended modes. The Prius PHV has a factor of 29%, compared with 83% for the BMW i3 Rex, 66% for the Chevrolet Volt, 45% for the Ford Energy models, and 33% for the Honda Accord plug-in hybrid. In July 2014 Toyota GB set a record-breaking lap around the Nürburgring Nordlift circuit in Germany. This was made using a purely cosmetically modified Prius plug-in. The Prius plug-in TRD achieved an impressive fuel consumption figure of 698 mpg over the course of one lap. Tailpipe emissions. The EPA rating for the model year 2012 through 2015 Prius PHEV tailpipe emissions is 133 grams of CO2 per mile. The EPA also accounted for the upstream CO2 emissions associated with the production and distribution of electricity required to charge the vehicle. Since electricity production in the United States varies significantly from region to region, the EPA considered three scenarios ranges with the low end of the range corresponding to the California power plant emissions factor, the middle of the range represented by the national average power plant emissions factor, and the upper end of the range corresponding to the power plant emissions factor for the Rockies. The following table shows the Prius PHEV tailpipe emission plus total upstream CO2 emissions for the three scenarios, compared with other 6 popular plug-in hybrids and the average gasoline-powered car. Safety. In the United States, the Prius plug-in includes Toyota's Vehicle Proximity Notification System, which is designed to alert pedestrians, the blind, and others of the vehicle's presence due to significant noise reduction typical of a hybrid vehicle traveling at low speeds in EV mode. This type of warning device is mandated by the Pedestrian Safety Enhancement Act of 2010. The warning sound is generated by externally mounted speakers and it activates automatically only at speeds below about 15 miles per hour. The pitch varies with the vehicle's speed to give pedestrians a sense of whether the approaching Prius is accelerating or decelerating. Fire incident. In separate incidents during the storm and flooding caused by Hurricane Sandy on the night of October 29, 2012, 1 Toyota Prius PHV and 16 Fisker Kamas caught fire while being parked at Port Newark Elizabeth Marine Terminal. The vehicles were partially submerged by flash floods caused by the hurricane. In the case of the Toyota's incident, a Prius PHV burned and 2 other Priuses, a conventional hybrid and a plug-in, just smoldered. A Toyota spokeswoman said the fire likely started because salt water got into the electrical system. She also clarified that the incident affected only 3 cars out of the 4,000 Toyotas that were at the terminal during the storm, including more than 2,128 plug-in or hybrid models. Other features. The Prius plug-in hybrid shares many of the same exterior and interior design elements as the standard 2012 Prius, keeping the coefficient of drag at CD equals 0.25. Among the design features exclusive to the plug-in are, unique chrome grille and bumper trim, chrome door handles, unique 15-inch alloy wheels, blue accented headlamps, a distinct tail lamp design, and a new hybrid Synergy Drive plug-in badge. In the United States, the Prius plug-in hybrid is available in 2 models, the standard Prius plug-in and the Prius plug-in advanced, and offered in 5 exterior colors. The standard trim level includes all the features of the 2012 Prius 2 liftback grade, plus some features from the Prius 3 and Prius 4 grades. Standard features include heated front seats, remote air conditioning system, a charger timer, EV-hour modes, 3-door smart key with push-button start, new touchscreen display audio with navigation and an integrated backup camera, Toyota Entune, and LED daytime running lights. Additional features of the Prius plug-in advanced include head-up display, LED headlamps, Softex interior seat trim, 8-way adjustable power driver seat, JBL premium audio and HDD navigation system and exclusive Entune plug-in hybrid applications for smartphones. Additional safety features in the advanced model include the pre-collision system with dynamic radar cruise control and Safety Connect system. Next generation. In August 2013, Toyota Managing Officer Satoshi Ergiso, who was chief engineer for the Prius line, announced some of the improvements and key features of the next-generation Prius. The next-generation Prius plug-in hybrid vehicle is being developed in parallel with the standard Prius model. Production of the first-generation Prius plug-in ended in June 2015. Although the fourth-generation hybrid model is scheduled for release by December 2015, the second-generation plug-in variant has no official release date announced, but according to Automotive News, production of the new plug-in version is expected to begin by October 2016. The next-generation Prius is being designed to deliver significantly improved fuel economy in a more compact package that is lighter in weight and lower in cost. These objectives are being achieved through the development of a new generation of powertrains with significant advances in battery, electric motor and gasoline engine technologies. The next Prius will feature improved batteries with higher energy density, smaller electric motors, with higher power density than the current Prius motors, and the gasoline engine will feature a thermal efficiency greater than 40%. The Prius fuel economy has improved on average by about 10% each generation, and Toyota has set the challenge to continue to improve at this rate. Toyota is developing a wireless inductive charging system that uses resonance between an on-floor coil and an-board coil to transmit power to the battery. The company plans to begin testing and verification work of the wireless battery charging system in Japan, the US and Europe in 2014 for a future plug-in Prius. Toyota is also considering requests from Prius PHV owners for additional all-electric range. Markets and sales. Toyota's initial global sales goal was to sell more than 60,000 Prius PHV a year, with Japan as the main market and aiming for 40,000 units, two-thirds of the carmaker's global sales goal. During its first year in the market, a total of 27,279 Prius PHVs were sold worldwide, allowing the Prius PHV to rank as the second most sold plug-in electric car for 2012. Sales in 2012 were led by the United States with 12,750 units delivered, followed by Japan with 10,970 units. In 2012, the Prius PHV was the best-selling plug-in electric car in Sweden and the top-selling plug-in hybrid in the UK, France, and Norway. The top-selling European market was the Netherlands, with 1,184 units sold during 2012. Accounting for cumulative sales since its inception, the Prius PHV ranked as the world's third best-selling PEV by December 2014. By May 2015, the Prius plug-in fell to fourth place after the Tesla Model S, and by November 2015 it was surpassed in the global ranking by the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, as the Prius sales declined after the end of its production in June 2015. As of November 2015, about 75,000 Prius PHVs had been sold worldwide since 2012, with the United States as the leading market with 42,271 units. As of July 2015, Japan ranked as the second largest market with 21,657 units, followed by Europe with 9,914 units. The European market is led by the Netherlands with 4,134 units registered by the end of November 2015. Canada. The Toyota Prius plug-in was released in the Canadian market in September 2012 at a starting price of $35,700 Canadian dollars. During its first month in the market sold 21 units. The Prius plug-in is eligible in several provinces for purchase rebates. According to its battery size, the Prius PHV will be eligible in British Columbia for a $2,500 Canadian dollars rebate starting on December 1, 2011. In Quebec the plug-in will be eligible for a $5,000 Canadian dollars rebate beginning on January 1, 2012, and it is also eligible for a $5,000 Canadian dollars rebate in Ontario. A total of 63 units were sold during 2012. And 212 in 2013. Cumulative sales totaled 351 units through December 2014. France. Deliveries of the Prius plug-in hybrid began in France in September 2012. Pricing starts at $37,000 including VAT and before any applicable government incentives. Excluding the environmental bonus, the plug-in version is $9,000 more expensive than the conventional hybrid model. The Prius PHV was the top-selling plug-in hybrid in France for 2012 with 413 units registered, more than doubling Ampera sales. Cumulative sales totaled 806 units through December 2013, and 864 units as of July 2015. Japan. Toyota began taking orders on late November 2011 and the Prius PHV was released on January 30, 2012. The price of the plug-in, including consumption tax, starts at A3,200,000 yen for the entry-level S trim and goes up to A4,200,000 yen for the G trim with leather option. Toyota's sales target for the Japanese market was set between 35,000 to 40,000 units per year. A total of 15,400 units had been sold between 2012 and December 2013. An additional 5,187 units were sold in 2014, and, as of July 2015, cumulative sales totaled 21,657 units. In October 2013, Toyota announced upgrades and reduced pricing for the 2014 Prius PHV in the Japanese market. The model will be offered in a new two-tone paint scheme, newly designed aluminium alloy wheels, LED illumination for the PHV, and hybrid Synergy drive badges. Interior changes include a padded compartment box in the center of the dashboard for keeping the smartphone, and some dark wood grain inserts in the center console and the armrests. In addition, Toyota explained that the 2014 Prius Plug-in Hybrid will be manufactured using an improved spot welding process that results in increased structural rigidity, which will reduce noise and vibration, and improve ride quality and steering feel. The Japanese market 2014 Prius PHV will be offered in 4 trim levels, L, S, G and G leather package. The base price was reduced to A2,850,000 yen, and the advanced model will start at A3,990,000 yen. Netherlands deliveries began in August 2012. The Prius PHV pricing starts at $38,990 and lease prices start at $599 per month. The price includes installation of a charging station at home, and owners also benefit from several tax exemptions and enjoy free parking due to cars' low emissions. A total of 1,184 units were sold during 2012, making the Prius PHV the second best-selling plug-in electric vehicle in the country after the Opel Ampera, and also making the Netherlands the top-selling European market for the Prius PHV during 2012. Sales totaled 2,707 units during 2013, ranking third in the Dutch plug-in electric car segment after the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV and the Volvo V60 plug-in hybrid. Prius PHV registrations totaled 4,073 units as of July 31, 2015. Sweden the Prius PHEV was the top-selling plug-in electric car in the country during 2012, with 499 units sold. An additional 376 units were sold in 2013, and ranked as the second most sold PEV that year. A total of 1,085 Prius PHEVs had been registered in Sweden through December 2014, ranking as the third top-selling plug-in electric vehicle in the country after the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV and the Volvo V60 plug-in hybrid. During the first half of 2015 an additional 98 units were registered, and cumulative registrations totaled 1,183 units through July 2015. United Kingdom the Prius plug-in pricing starts at £32,895 before taking into account the government's £5,000 plug-in car grant. After the subsidy is applied, the Prius plug-in ends up on par with the Nissan Leaf electric car. Deliveries to fleet customers began in August 2012. As of December 31, 2012, a total of 470 units were sold since its introduction to the markets in July 2012, allowing the Prius PHV to surpass the Vauxhall Ampera and ranking as the top-selling plug-in hybrid in the country. In 2013 the Prius PHV ranked again as the top-selling plug-in hybrid with 509 units sold, up 8.5% from 2012. Cumulative sales through December 2013 reached 979 units. As of March 2014, the Prius plug-in ranked second after the Nissan Leaf, then the British market leader, but by December 2014 it fell to fifth place among plug-in electric cars, and second place among plug-in hybrids after the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. As of March 2015, a total of 1,395 units have been registered in the UK. United States the production Prius plug-in hybrid was introduced in the US on September 16, 2011, at the Green Drive Expo in Richmond, California. For the 2012 and 2013 model year the sales price in the US started at $32,000 for the base model and $39,525 for the advanced trim before any applicable government incentives. All trims are subject to a $760 delivery fee. Due to its battery size, the Prius plug-in qualifies for a federal tax credit of $2,500, and it is eligible for additional incentives at the state and local level, such as California's $1,500 rebate. The Prius plug-in also qualifies for California's Enhanced Advanced Technology Partial Zero Emissions Vehicle status, which will allow plug-in owners to have free access to use carpool lanes even when traveling solo. On April 22, 2011, Toyota introduced its priority registration website for customers interested in ordering the Prius Plug-in Hybrid, even though the purchase price had not been announced at that time. Registration guaranteed first access to Toyota unregistered trademark S online order system, which began sales in October 2011, but limited to the 14 launch states. Toyota reported that during its first month since the process began, more than 17,000 potential buyers signed up through its reservation website. By mid-July 2011, 29,000 potential buyers had registered, and deposits were taken by dealers beginning in November 2011. The plug-in hybrid is available in 2 trims and 5 colors. Production began in January 2012, and retail deliveries began in late February 2012. Initial availability was limited, and, as of October 2013, the Prius PHV was offered only in 15 states: Arizona, California, Connecticut, Hawaii, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia and Washington. According to Toyota, these are the states where nearly 60% of all Prius models are currently sold in the country. The Prius plug-in was originally advertised to become available in all remaining states in 2013. However, nationwide availability never materialized and the car was only sold in the original 15 states until its discontinuation in 2015. Toyota announced it expects to sell in the U.S. market around 15,000 units a year initially. Toyota delivered 7 plug-ins in February, sold 891 units in March 2012, its first full month on the market, and in April 2012 the Prius PHV was the top-selling plug-in electric car for that month. As of November 2015, the Prius PHV, with cumulative sales of 42,271 units, it is the second top-selling plug-in hybrid car in the U.S. after the Chevrolet Volt. In October 2013, Toyota announced a price reduction for the 2014 model year Prius plug-in, cutting $2,000 off the base price, and $4,620 for the advanced version, in order to boost flagging sales. There will be no changes in the vehicle content as compared to the 2013 model, and the price reduction will take effect in November 2013, when deliveries of the new model is scheduled to begin. Recognition: the Toyota Prius plug-in was a finalist for the 2010 Green Car Vision Award. The Prius plug-in won the 2012 Urban Green Vehicle of the Year award. Shared with the Toyota Prius V, the Prius plug-in was awarded Green Car Report's Best Car by 2012. See also, Government incentives for plug-in electric vehicles, list of modern production plug-in electric vehicles, plug-in electric vehicle. References. External links: official websites for Canada, a Euro Japan, a Euro UK, a Euro US.